Hi, Sandy here. Today I'm going to glue together some glue book pages, Victorian. I've been working on this huge stack of magazines, like this big. I went through and I pulled out every page with everything that I wanted, and then I spent a couple of days cutting out what I wanted to save, and I did some fussy cutting. I didn't fussy cut everything, but most of the stuff I did fussy cut. Most of this stuff is, and I got everything all organized into categories and put away with the other stuff in the categories. And even though I already have a ton of stuff, I'm pretty much using mostly the new stuff that I just got. So we'll start gluing here. I've got this vintage style paper here, scrapbook paper, and this is from an ad for this, something you could order. I like to cut out pretty things. You know, I kind of have my own style. I don't do things quite the way other people do, but I just cut out things that I like to see, things that give me a little bit of joy when I flip through my glue book pages and I put them together. And I've been looking through my glue books lately, and they do make me happy. And then here's a pretty room with Victorian furniture. I cut up a magazine called Victorian Home Source. They had a lot of ads in there. I mean, it was from like 1994. Victorian decorating was pretty popular at that time, and I was into Victorian decorating. Collecting reproduction antiques and decorating really pretty. Boy, that's sticking good. That's a good thing, but I want to get this tucked up under there. Don't tear, please don't tear. Okay. And I've had that magazine since it was new. So I cut it up, and I'm using a lot of the stuff. Okay, this is a vase of flowers I cut out. You gotta be creative with the things you can put on your glue book pages. And that's gonna be right up to the edge because it was on the edge of the page, and that's where it got cut off from. Okay, and then I've got this, there was a lot of these vintage ads in there, in the back of the magazine, and I didn't cut them all out, but the ones with nice art or Victorian things on them I cut out. Here's some good Victorian fencing. So we'll put that here. And then these lovely ladies, these ladies were in the fold of the page. So I have two of these, and I had to separate them. But that's okay, because I got double the use out of them, right? So that's all right. Okay, put those here. They covered up a lot of the furniture. And then I've got this, I think this came from Birds in Bloom. I cut a couple of magazines of Birds in Blooms. Oh my gosh, I have so many flowers and so many birds, but that's alright. Okay, now I don't want to put too much stuff on this page because I want this nice pattern to show through. So now we'll flip on the other side. Well, I'm going to bind this, so this is going to go in the binding. So that means this side's going to go in the binding. I've got this piece of scrapbook paper with birds on it. So it goes here. Get it lined up there. And it's sticking off the top a little bit, so I have to trim it. It's been a while since I made a book that I bind myself. I've been doing a lot of those vintage scrapbooks like this. I've got 4 of these finished, completely filled up with stuff. And I've got like 5 more. I hit the jackpot. When I see them, I buy them because they don't make those. Well, maybe they do make them. I don't know. Okay. Now I've got this nice magazine page with the bench and the flowers. Use my big glue stick for that. I use glue sticks because I think they're economical and they don't wrinkle your pages very much. But one of my glue books I made in one of them old scrapbooks, it had been used before, and you could see where they had taken the pictures out or whatever was in there before, and things didn't want to stick very well, so I used watered down Elmer's glue and just painted it on the back of each item as I put it on there. And I was looking through that book the other day. It was my Take 5 book. There was I had a lot of stuff. A person, a car, flowers, landscape, and birds. Those are the things I have the most of. So one of each of those items on each page, plus anything else I wanted to add. But anyway, I was looking through that book the other day, and some of the things were kind of wrinkled up. But I tell you what, when I look through my books, I find little things here and there that are coming loose. But that one, wow, it was sticking down good. Okay, I got this lady I cut out of Reminisce magazine, maybe. What was her name? It was an article about, I think she was a gossip columnist. Gosh, I can't think of her name. And this is her at age 16, I believe. So I'm going to sit her on this bench. I don't know. Anyway, so then I've got these swans I cut out, and I'm going to put those on there. Okay, I got it. Trying to remember where I had everything. I had a catalog with lots of pretty decorative things, and it had all kinds of stuff. I think it's called the LTD catalog. You might have heard of that. They got inexpensive things in there. Somebody gave it to me. And this was in there, and so I cut those out. Oh, the head's not quite lining up the way it should. We'll get it though. It should line up right here. Weird. Okay, I got it. There. I actually cut through here so that I could cut out the space in there. I don't always do that, but I just thought it'd be a good idea this time. Birds are one of my favorite subjects for my glue book pages. And these were a set of plates that you could order. Decorative plates. You wouldn't want to eat off of them. So, I'll put those there. And then a vintage camera. I just found all kinds of nice little things. And then a butterfly. I've had this a while. This was on a piece of scrapbook paper, and I cut out They were not overlapping. It was just covered with butterflies, and I fussy cut out each of them. Okay, that's done already. Yeah, this will be the seam. Okay. Now, the next one. I've got this. This is computer. No, it's not. This was some paper with a pink grain in it, and I believe I tea dyed it. Not really sure. Anyway, so I've got this. Well, I got to put this on first. No, I'm not going to put that on first. I want it to overlap. Anyway, here's a nice English garden. Obviously, it's not a true Victorian picture. This side is pretty too, but this side goes better with my theme. Anyway, what was I saying? I totally forgot. Oh, that looks good with that background. There won't be much background, actually. This is just a piece of scrapbook paper. It should be going that way, but I'm going to turn it. And I like the torn edge. And I ended up with more Christmas stuff for my next Christmas glue book. And I will be doing at least 2 or 3 more Christmas glue books. I have so much. This is pretty. This was a greeting card, I believe. I think it was on a greeting card. Looks like it. And again, it's not Victorian either, but it's going to look just lovely on it. So that'll go here. My seam is going to go over here, my binding. That looks pretty. Then I've got this. I had a book of Victorian ladies. It was called The Victorian Lady. That's the title of the book. Okay. Then I've got this vintage spelling book. It looks very vintage and old. Just a little bit of ephemera for the page, and it's going to go here. No. The bird's going to be at that angle. Use my little single-edged razor blade. Okay. Then I got this bird in it that I fussy cut. I have lots of birds. And it goes here. Just mix and match a bunch of stuff on the page. Kind of make a scene sometimes. Sometimes they go get together. Sometimes I just add totally unrelated things. Alright, now I believe this was in Reminisce. They have a lot of vintage photographs, and this looks Victorian. Might not be, but it looks Victorian, and I just like it. A lot of times I like to use large things and then just fill in the space around them and add a few little touches. Okay. So this will be the binding. And that's not... Wait a minute. Yeah. Okay, and then I've got this. Oh, I need to add this first. This is just a piece of notebook, of scrapbook paper. And I want to cover up this. That's why I have it. And then this was from a calendar. It was full of collage Victorian stuff. And this is actually going to go in the binding. Okay, then I got this little swan. It's a photograph, I believe. It's pretty nice. And I rounded the corners. Put that right there. Then I've got these dolls. I had a doll catalog. I'm using a lot of the dolls in here. And I need another glue stick. And I have plenty of them. I have 2 more boxes of 60. And I'm so frugal. I've been saving these and then I scoop them out and put them into another one. It gets kind of smeary, but gets used up because I use so many of them. That's a lot of glue getting thrown away. That little dab in the bottom. I've been scrapbooking and using these glue sticks for almost 20 years, and I've just recently started doing that. Oh, okay, I got this stamp. This is from Graphic 45. Okay, and I have so many words, it's just crazy. I have a whole book of words plus. So this says true love always and forever. So that's done. Alright. I got 4 sides done already. Now, okay, I made some Franken paper. I didn't do that just now. I made up a bunch of this. So now I just had these arranged the way I want them, and now I got to figure it out again. And I don't want to fill in, I want to show some of the background because it's my Franken paper. Oh good, that's a sticker. Okay. So there's another one of those ads. Got metal light poles and mailbox and planters, aluminum. Okay, and then that's very pretty. This is I've made, this is number 4 for the Victorian books with binding, and then I also have 3 of those scrapbooks. The larger size scrapbooks full. And I call those Victorian Treasure. And the bind ones, the ones I bind, I just call them Victorian 1, 2, 3, 4. As I go. Okay, where's she gonna go? Raise it up a little bit. Okay, I'm thinking maybe I should round the edges, because why not? And I cut this out by hand. I didn't use my paper trimmer. I did use my paper trimmer a lot, but not on everything. Okay. Yeah, it looks good like that. And then this was on the edge of a page, so use it on the edge of a page. And then this is actually, it says 2019, but it looks like a reproduction of a coin from 100 and 150 years ago. So it has got the right look to it. Mix the old with the new. Okay, and then birds. I had like six of these little birds, different designs, and I've been kind of really reaching for those. They're so cute. Okay, and now the sticker. I keep forgetting I have these. I call them filigrees or curly cues, swirly things. I keep forgetting I have them. Get all it. Okay, I think I got it. Okay. There, that's done. And look at this side. When I did my Franken paper, I took paper like this in all different kinds that already had a pattern on it, and I Franken paper the other side so that I've got two sides to work with. Okay. So I've got this scrap of paper from a book. Oh, no, it's from a magazine. Kind of like newsprint. So the binding will go on this side of this page. And then I've got this. This is so pretty. It's a beautiful little dresser and dolls and teddy bear in the little doll bed or baby crib. It's just a very pretty Victorian room. And I want some of this background to show through. Now, I had a doll catalog. I think maybe you saw it on another page, but look at all those Victorian style dolls. So those go here. Okay, this was from a Holly Hobby calendar. It was on some of the pages. I don't like to waste anything. I saw that and I can use that for something. I've had this for a long time. Several of them. See, I have several of them. Okay, now here's a pretty little picture of a girl. She's not quite Victorian, but she's very pretty. She will work. So this is going very good together with the dolls here and dolls here, and then a little girl here. And then I got these die-cut roses. That goes there. And that's all it needs. So I believe that's 6 pages now. Okay. Now for this, I had several pages that I watercolored. Look at this pretty house. It's more colonial than Victorian, but it'll do. So can you drop me a comment on my video? Nobody's been commenting lately. On like 3 of my videos, this guy, I have no idea who he is. He had a link to his YouTube page was only videos that he had liked or saved, but he kept saying, "Do you want to be friends?" Who the hell are you? Excuse my language, but really? How do you be friends on Facebook or YouTube? Come on, that's just creepy. And there's so many creepy men out there, really, because on Facebook, you know, you probably get those friend requests from men. There's nothing on their page except one or two photos, and a lot of times they're in the military. Some of them are kind of not bad looking, which is probably a fakes, and I'm sure they're fake pages, and they just stole a picture of somebody, you know, and they're usually older men, at least the people that try to friend me. Weird people in the world. Okay, so here's the other part of that, those ladies. So more bang for my buck since they were in the back fold of the magazine. So I got 2 pieces instead of just 1. Okay, now the binding is going to be over here, and these ladies are going to be here. Then I got this mailbox. We'll put a mailbox in front of the house. So there's the guys on Facebook that want to friend you that are, who the heck are they? Of course I don't friend them, I block them. And then on Pinterest, I'm always getting messages from guys, "Oh, your pins look so interesting. I think we have a lot in common, blah, blah, blah." Oh, come on. And now on YouTube, this guy is, "We want to be friends." It's kind of a weird thing to be talking about in this video, isn't it? But really, you can't trust anybody. Okay. So that's done. I should have glued this more on this side. If I can move these ladies, I can make this the back side. Oh, I sure don't want to tear them. I can have the binding on here. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. If I can get them off with... Oh, there's a little tear. I'll make it, though. Oh. Come on. This is how you learn. You make mistakes and you fix them. I usually don't think a lot about what I'm doing. I just throw stuff together, and that works for me. But sometimes you just want to change your mind a little bit. This is very sticky. Anyway, so I'm going to put this on the edge. of this. There. Oh yeah, that's very sticky. Now, this will be the back side of the page, and the binding will be here. So on this one, the binding will be here. And I've got this. This is off like the front of the back, probably the back of a calendar. So I'm going to put that here. And snip off this extra. The weekend's here, and I would be very happy to just spend the whole weekend playing with my glue books. I have to go to the grocery store tomorrow, and Sunday we have to go to the cemeteries because it's Memorial Day weekend. And then Monday's Memorial Day, we have to go to my mother-in-law's. Okay. Oh. Okay, so here's an older couple, Victorian, man in a beard. Okay, then here's one of those ads. Got a Victorian house on it, so I like that. And these backgrounds that I make, not much shows. But there's a little bit peeking through here and there, so that's all that matters. So this is going to go in my binding right there. That's a bed and breakfast for the United States for 1992. Okay, so here's a little lawn thing. It looks pretty vintage, so that'll work. Okay, I'm going to put that here. And then I've got this little Victorian house. Since they're sitting on the porch, this house has a porch. Okay, and then I've got this bird, and I believe I was going to put it here. I could put it here, but it'll cover up a lot of that rose. I need it here. I do. There. What do I have that I can cover that up with? Something small. Oh, you know what? It's just fine. It's just fine. Okay, so we got 8 pages done already. I think I have 2 more pages to do. Okay. Let's see what. Okay, I'm going to start with this one. Okay. So here's a very vintage looking piece of scrapbook paper. Now these were 12 by 12 and I cut everything down to 8.5 by 11. And it's just plain on the back. Okay. So I've got this landscaping with this willow chair. I've got this stained glass window with a peacock. I've got this Victorian doll that was in a catalog. It was an ad. Here's another peacock. And I think I lucked out with the peacocks. Well, those might be peacocks or something else. And then a bird's nest. So I don't want this page too busy because I want my paper to show through. Okay. So I'm going to start with this. So I guess I'll have my seam over here. And then I've got my peacock stained glass window. I got some pretty pink flowers here that pick up the pink here, so I don't want to cover those up completely. But I don't want this too close to the edge because and my binding's going to go there. Alright. So there's that. There was a whole page of all of these Victorian framed pictures, and I just cut them out. They're kind of small, but they look good. You need a wide variety of sizes of stuff. Well, you don't need, whatever your style is, but big stuff mixed with small stuff, that works for me. Okay, this is the main thing of the page. Okay, now the bird nest. Alright, that page is done. That's kind of warping, but once it's bound in a book, it'll flatten out eventually. Now this is just plain white on the back. So the binding is going to go over here, but this is thin paper. This is scrapbook paper. The binding is going to go here, and I'm going to put this will be into the binding. And if you want to know how to bind a book, I made a video how to do it, but I don't know if you'll ever find it. Maybe if you go to YouTube and in the search engine and look for Sandy Hearn binding loose leaf pages. But if you can't find that, Shannon Green, she's a well-known YouTuber. That's where I learned from her video. She explains it very well. It's a lot longer than my video, but it's a good explanation. Now look at this. This is why I love Victorian. Look at that staircase and the bench and the woodwork. I just love that. This is why I love Victorian stuff. I get a lot of pictures of rooms, Victorian rooms and stuff, but that one is just gorgeous. Now, this goes here, yeah, all the way to the edge pretty much, because the binding will be over here. Now, this is kind of sticking off the edge a little bit on both top and bottom. Okay. And more of my Victorian dolls. Victorian lady dolls. The catalog had all kinds of dolls in it. Mostly older. It was an old catalog. Mostly older dolls. I don't know when the catalog was put out, but I think back in the 70s or earlier would be my guess. Okay. And I think the colors here just go really good together. Now I've got these roses that I cut out. They're in a little square glass vase. They're so pretty. And that's going to go right there. And then I've got 3 roses. Pink, red, and yellow. And I'm going to put those here. I almost put it here, but this has this beautiful trim right there on the ceiling, so we don't want to cover that up. That would not be good. So I think I got, what, 8 or 10? We'll find out in a minute. I'm going to overlap this a little bit. And then I've got this word beautiful, and it's a vintage style font, so that's going to be awesome. I'll put it up here where I'm not hiding anything pretty. And that is done. Let me cover up my glue. So, oh, I think we got a total of 10 pages done. Awesome. That didn't take long. Well, it took me a while to gather this stuff together. Okay, so, and I've already got like 10 pages done already. So this puts me at 30, and I do 50 at a time. So, here, I hope you can see this whole thing. And it doesn't really matter what order they're in. I always just put them in the order that I made them. Wait a minute now. Okay, yeah, alright. So the binding goes here. Yeah, the binding goes here. Okay. So there's that. And with all of my sorting and stuff, I've got even more Christmas stuff. 2 or 3 glue books. Just Christmas stuff. Mix and match. I've already done 2. They're fun to do because everything's right here. I don't have to be searching through the bird area, the Victorian ladies area, the flowers area, the Victorian house area, the landscaping area. Everything is right here. So those are easy to make. And then I decided I'm going to do a gardening book. So I've collected a bunch of gardening stuff together, and these are stuff that are kind of specific to gardening. I'll probably cut these guys out and put them on a page, and then I can add any birds and flowers and landscaping that I want with the gardening. I can fill up a book easy. And then I thought, well, I'm going to do an autumn book. So as I was going through my stuff, I collected several. This is only the new stuff that I've just gotten out of catalogs. I haven't looked through what I already had, the magazines. But I'm going to do an autumn glue book. It's going to take quite a bit to fill up 50 pages, but I'm going to. It's going to be nice. And I've got some owls in here, and I can add some stuff in there, other things. So those are going to be my future projects, but I got to finish this book first. I could just glue and glue and glue. I just wish I had more time. Anyway, thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel. Leave me a comment. Bye-bye.